Hey, how's it going? Hard Talk Radio, your host, MrDeadman. A little late. Didn't hear back from the guest. Sometimes that happens. I'm not sure, what happened to cause that, but it is what it is. Had a backup plan. I always have a backup plan. And as of course, to talk about these Satan shoes, these Satan Nikes. How are you gonna make that into an hour-long thing? Right? There's not really much to talk about to make an hour long. Oh, don't worry. We'll get into Satanism in the music industry and Hollywood as well. Some interesting videos, some interesting quotes I have here. Okay, yes, let's go ahead and talk about or address the elephant in the room here. The satanic poster. Sorry, wrong thumb. Behind me. Okay, I publish horror. Satan imagery is expected in horror. Okay. It's kind of like Satan imagery is expected in metal, in heavy metal, especially death metal. The harder you go in the metal and the weirder you go, like industrial, you kind of expect Satanism to be in that. But mainstream, pretentious rap, pop crap, why is that in that? Like, why is Little Nas X putting out these Satan shoes? It doesn't make any sense. I thought he was marketing to kids. Old Town Road, that's the name of the song, right? That song, the kids love that song. That song was marketed towards kids. They even have kids versions of that song, which is weird because isn't that a song about nothing nothing that kids should be doing, right? But here we are. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. And no, I wouldn't want your kids to be reading Satan is your friend. Okay. If they happen to do so, that's on you. But, it is what it is. So, yeah. These Satan shoes. Satan Nikes. How do you feel about them? Are you for them? Against them? Are you appalled? You want to cancel them? Oh, don't worry about that. I think Nike's filing a lawsuit to sue Little Nas, or at least the company that created the custom shoe. How's that possible? How's that possible? In case you know what I'm talking about here. In case not, let me go ahead and put the image on the screen here. Let me go ahead and do this shit right here. Here we go. Let's go ahead and pop this bad boy on the screen. There we go. There's the new look for Lil Nas X and his Satan shoes. I mean, if Slipknot came out with Satan shoes, it'd be like, okay. If Marilyn Manson came out with Slipknot shoes, no one would care. It'd be like expected. This guy comes out with Satan shoes. I mean, for Christ's sakes, he had a concert for kids. I mean, he had a virtual concert on Roblox. That's for like 13-year-olds and 9-year-olds. What? Is he? He has kids' books. He goes around and sees kids at school. Conservatives are freaking out with drag queens reading to kids, which, hey, rightly so. There was a drag queen that was exposed or busted for having CP. Wow, strange how that happens, huh? But now you got these guys possibly putting, teaching Satanism to the kids. Don't worry about the kids. Worry about the kids. Parents have a right to know, have a right to take the actions that they do. Take their kids out, complain, all that stuff. Okay, so now from what I understand, though, we might be being trolled here. Apparently, Little Nas X did this on purpose to anger very, very, very religious conservatives. Well, he achieved the goal because some of the conservative guys I usually listen to, like on YouTube, They were freaking out about this in a way that was like they were actually offended, which I understand. Hey, if you are very religious, I understand. I go to church. I went to church last Sunday. It was good. It was good. If you want to know about that, a Protestant sort of church, Disciples of Christ. Okay. I don't go all the time. I go most of the time. And I'm pretty active. Like, I was a deacon for a little while. I know it seems weird with the imagery behind me, but check it out. I mean, I could do the horror stuff and keep that there. Besides, that was just for fun. I wasn't trying to trigger any fucking conservatives. It was going to happen, maybe, but it wasn't my goal. It wasn't my fucking goal. Okay. But, yeah, troll achieved. The job achieved. Reveal for 121, I bet. Oh, yeah, probably. April 1st? Oh. But the shoes are already out. And from what I understand, the shoes have already sold out. See, the shoes were revealed, I think, give me the date here in this article. No. Okay, so, a little bit about this. There is a company that Nike is suing for using their logo, using their little swoosh, their little logo. See, you can get custom-made shoes, and for the most part, usually Nike doesn't care if you use their logo. They're not going to pursue any sort of action against that because it's branding, whatever. But, and maybe there's a kickback. I don't know. I don't know about the details about that. But apparently Nike is not liking this and wants to take certain action. Obviously, it's taking legal action. That's a streetwear company, MSCHF. I'm not sure what that means, what that stands for. But they released the Satan shoes on Monday of this week, and they of course you can see there. Maybe the image is kind of small. You have a reference to Luke 10:18 there, the Bible verse about Satan's fall from heaven. You have supposedly there's blood on the shoe, like real blood, real human blood. If that's true, it's probably little Nassus, I'd imagine, or maybe a child. knowing how Hollywood, or I know he's not Hollywood, but knowing how the music industry works, and they share the same circle now. They share the same secret cabal. They're part of it. They're all fucking part of it, and we're gonna get into that. But most likely it's his blood. There's 666 pairs of these shoes, and they've all sold out. They've all sold out. Supposedly, there's Jesus shoes out there with like crosses and stuff. You can buy that too. So, whatever. I also find that to be sort of blasphemous. But, at the end of the day, God will judge on that. God will judge that. All right, so bring the question back to you guys. How do you feel about this? Does it bother you? Does it upset you? Does it trigger you? If it does, do you feel like you've been played now that supposedly this is all one giant troll op, which is interesting because that music video definitely did not seem like a troll op. What was the message of that video? That little Nas X is going to be given the devil, be given Satan lap dances? That little Nas works for Satan? That little Nas' existence, he's nothing more than a male stripper for Lucifer? Is that the message? If you haven't seen the music video, I'm not going to play it here. All right. I'll show you some TNA, some horror TNA, some chicks run away from Jason, whatever, with their ass and tits hanging out. I'll show you that. Okay. That's fine. I ain't gonna show that. Little Nas's music video ain't showing that. A little too hardcore. I don't even know how that music video is allowed on YouTube. Pretty hardcore. But then again, I don't understand how like Cardi B shit is on YouTube. I don't get that. I don't get that. I know it sounds weird once again about coming from some guy who is okay with TNA, is okay, obviously, with pushing the envelope with the stuff I publish. But it's like, man, things have, especially mainstream, have gotten really sexualized to the point to where it's blatant pornography right there. What is that? What is that doing? Think about the kids. I have to be careful with that logic because that's the same logic that congressmen and senators have used that sort of a logic to attack video games. Think about the kids and comics back in the day. Think about the kids. We always have to be careful with that. So no, when I talk about this stuff, I am saying you do have to think about the impact on children and on society. But the sort of thing we probably should do to address it may not be some sort of government intervention, but maybe boycotting with our wallet or making choices that we can do. Like I said though, this is all fucked. This is coming from someone who marketed for like years towards kids. He marketed towards kids. This is like if Dr. Seuss back that'd be great. Like if they released like a secret book of Dr. Seuss never before seen, where Cat in the Hat was giving Satan a lap dance, wearing like BDSM gear. Be fucking weird. It'd be like if there was an episode of Peppa Pig that came out where the pigs were like being gyrating on Satan's crotch right there in front of the kids. That's what it'd be like. It'd be like, oh, but that music video wasn't for the kids. Fuck that logic. Little Nas X spends many moments, most of his time of his career marketing towards kids. And you're telling me that they're not going to see this? They're going to see it. And I think it's intentional. They want the kids to see it. Oh, conspiracy theory. Oh, yeah, sure, conspiracy theory. But why would he do it? To change his brand? For what? For what? He was making crazy money. He was making pretty good money, wasn't he? Or was he not making enough? Huh? See, there is a theory out there that to make it really big in the music industry and movie industry, you have to give your ass to Satan. Is that just a conspiracy? Or is there something to it? Why is it that various mainstream music performers all get into the Satan shit? Like, I understand if it's fucking Slayer or Megadeth, which he went Christian, by the way, or Metallica, which I think they went, I don't know. The Satan shit is expected in metal. It's expected in horror. It's expected in horror movies, in horror books, shit like that. But in mainstream music, mainstream TV, no. That's not expected. That shouldn't be wanted. I don't know if their goal is to really... I don't know if the goal is to get the kids to accept Satan in their life. Let them become little satanic, little heathens, little bastards. As they're having orgies right there in the fucking living room while they're watching a Little Nas X music video. Huh? Maybe. Maybe that's what they want. Maybe they want the kids to do that shit. Or maybe they want the kids to question religion. Huh? To not even... To think that Satan is like a complete and absolute joke. How about that? How about that? It's one of those two. Either the music industry, the Hollywood industry, they're trying to push the Satan shit on the kids so they become satanic. The satanic panic stuff, by the way, was very real. The people who say it wasn't, they're lying to you. They're protecting it. Or they didn't look at the FBI report. I'm just putting it out there. I'm putting that out there. Some weird shit went down. Some weird fucking. That's another stream. We will get into that. Okay, so they want the kids. This sounds insane as I say this, but what is it? It's either one of the two. They either want the kids, they're being exposed to Little Nas and satanic imagery, to gyrate sexually in the living room, or they want the kids to just think it's all a big joke, to destroy religion in that way. Which one is it? Maybe it's both. Maybe they're like, you know what? If we get both, that's great. Because let's not beat around the bush about this. Let's not do that. The people in power right now, they very much want to bring on a Brave New World society. If you've never read Brave New World, let me give you a little book report. It's degenerate. It's a degenerate society where people are grown in little, I guess, labs, and based on their DNA, whatever, they're placed in certain sections of society. Before they're doing that, though, before they do that, the kids, when they're kids, they're all put in this garden where they're allowed to sexually play with one another. So be sexually promiscuous with one another, have orgies. That's what this book, Brave New World, is about, okay? Well, it's not what it's really about. It's really showing how fucked up that system is. But while the moral of the story, which I thought of Brave New World, was that, hey, that's not a good idea. Trying to sexualize the kids early on, really push sexual images onto them, is not a good idea, especially at an early age. The people in power, I guess they took it the other way. Like, hey, this is hey, okay, let's do this. Let's try to create a society like this. Let's control this. Or maybe it has nothing to do with that. Maybe they weren't influenced by that. Maybe they're influenced by the thing of that. If you want to really control society, you got to really control religion. You got to control that shit. Maybe even destroy it. If you want to bring on a communist society, you got to get it where the government is the religion. How about that? How about that? Or maybe, MrDeadman, you're going on crazy conspiracy again. Okay. All right. Let's just bring it back down to Satan and the entertainment and and how they're pushing it. Let's talk about that. Let's go deep into that. If you don't believe that, why is it you have musicians that talk about it? You got people in the music industry that talk about how you have to give your ass to Satan, how you have to join not the Illuminati itself, okay? But like cults, various groups that act very much like that. They may call themselves that, or that just might be just like a meme name, whatever. I mean, there was a real Illuminati back in the days, several of them actually. And okay, that's a stream later for another day. Okay, we'll go deep dive in that shit. But there is a secret group. There are most definitely people in power. You got people in the music industry talking about it. You got people that are exposed to both Hollywood and music, like Nick Cannon, who talks about it. Oh, yeah. There's people that are in absolute power that will exploit that shit. You got Brad Pitt talking about it in Hollywood. Hollywood isn't, sure, it's about making money. It's not about making movies. It's about making money and power and control. That's what it's about. They want to have power. They want to control you with that power to get more power, and they want to make money. So they will sell you anything. They'll sell your soul. And they do that. They do that quite a bit. It's true, man. You got Mel Gibson in an interview talking about how these elites like to bathe in the blood of babies. Oh, but Mel Gibson's a kook. Is he? Okay, sure, maybe he says some anti-Semitic things here and there, but he has a hard time handling Hollywood. He's talked about it. The stuff he's seen, what they do to kids, the stuff they've seen, what they do to other actors, the way they behave, it broke him. He is a Christian man, a devout Christian man who couldn't handle what he saw. It broke him. It got to him. It's not just Mel Gibson. You got other actors, other childhood actors who have come out and have exposed the pedophilia. What does that have to do with Satan? What do you mean, what does that have to do with Satan? You're taking these pedophile rings, these grooming of kids, the lust for money, the power and the control that has nothing to do at all with Satan? Like, this might make Satan look like a joke. Okay? But I do believe there is an evil force out there. I do believe that these people, whether or not they believe in it, whether or not they actually believe in it, they're performing these rituals, these blood rituals, these satanic sexual orgies with kids and teenagers. Oh yeah, they know exactly what they're doing. You know what? Time for some show and tell. Let me show you a video about this. This is Angelina Jolie talking about what goes on in Hollywood. Well, let me share it on the screen. Here we go.
It's like I would film things like that. I would encourage like everybody, all different.
It's like I would film the ritual in order to encourage like everybody and all different types of celebrities. So Angelina Jolie is talking about how she filmed a ritual, a satanic ritual, to encourage other celebrities to engage in. And she talks about this, okay? Other actors have talked about these sort of cult-like rituals that they have to perform. Oh, maybe it's just an initiation thing. Okay. An agnostic or an atheist would definitely say that. Oh, it's just an initiation. It's not really real. It's not about Satan. Then why the imagery then? Why the lust for Atan LaVey, of all people? Which I think, that's the thing what Satanists will say. They'll say, Satanism isn't even really about Satan. That Satanists don't even really believe in Satan. Satanists are really just atheists that just worship Satan. Oh, they don't worship him because he doesn't exist. But yet, they're obsessed with the symbols and all that shit because why? It seems like a really confused version of atheism. So what I'm saying is it's kind of dumb. And that's what it is. It's just a really confused version of atheism. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And I think they're lying to themselves. I think Atan LaVey, the lie started with him. Anyway.
Different type of sexual, but there is that thing where it's like a lot of people misunderstand me with S&M and they think it's super, and I have to like explain to people how, like, where it's more like you're tied down because you need to like be able to like have somebody hold you down and keep you.
Okay, so she's talking about the ritual, and she talks about this stuff in interviews, how she had to kill her own snake. Apparently she had I don't know if it's a pet snake or whatever, but she had to kill it, sacrifice it. Sacrifice a serpent. I'm not really too familiar with satanic rituals, but sacrificing a serpent, what is that? Why would they do that? Wouldn't you sacrifice something else, like a goat or a cat or cow? A serpent, they're sacrificing their own. I don't know. Or maybe it's important because it was her pet. Something of hers that she can get rid of.
fight something now. Like,
so Angelina is heard describing the gruesome ritual celebrities perform to join the Illuminati. Now, I don't think it's the Illuminati. I don't know about that. And claims it's not the same as S&M, consensual sexual torture, which, by the way, in the music industry, you recently had Marilyn Manson been exposed for grooming a 17-year-old, then turned 18-year-old, or probably 18-year-old at the time, grooming her to get her into a forced S&M experience. But no one really cared. No one was actually shocked by that because it's Marilyn Manson. It was like, well, yeah, of course he's going to be into that shit. She wasn't into that shit. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if he did do some forced shit in there. Rape in the name of Satan and call it S&M. Fucking shit. Satanic motherfuckers. What do you guys think? During the Illuminati ritual, you are indeed tied up, sodomized, and tortured. We also hear how she's been encouraging other celebrities to perform the ritual as to join the Illuminati, which is what other members have to do. The pain is often so intense, many participants quit midway through.
You'll be able to heal once you're beaten, like, or something.
Okay, now she continues to talk. You'll be able to heal once you're beaten, so it comes from a real place.
It comes from a real place of, like, you know, as opposed to being accessories or something like.
What'd she talk about, huh? What'd she talk about? There's some ass crack right there.
It's like with tattoos and things. Like, I've always gotten them. There's like that time where he's like, oh, I have tattoos. And after a while, you're like, you can explain them and they can mean something. It's just.
And the tattoos are a way to be tagged, by the way. And that stuff is real. Of course we know it's real. I mean, certain groups, they use tattoos as a marker, as an identifier. Why wouldn't a satanic group do that? Now, some people will be like, oh, but there's not really an Illuminati. Like I said, I don't know if they're really called the Illuminati. It seems too on the nose and too, like, if that is the case, it's like, well, I mean, you guys aren't even trying to hide anymore. Maybe that's the thing. But if you look at the combination of all this stuff, you got Hollywood and people coming out saying, definitely exposing Hollywood for being not about movies, but about money and power and control. And they groom these kids. They groom kids for pedophile rings. You have Hollywood celebrities talking about how there's blood rituals and cannibalism. There's the Hollywood Army Hammer was exposed for cannibalism. And apparently, that's a known thing. I mean, you have one famous dude in Hollywood wanting to eat people. You're probably going to have others as well. This is what it is. They hang together. They do things together. Okay? It's really not too far-fetched to believe or to get into that there's probably some sort of deep-seated fucking crazy satanic Luciferian sort of group there. Okay? I mean, you have these Hollywood celebrities mingling with people like Jeffrey Epstein. You got Oprah Winfrey with Jeffrey Epstein, right? Or no, she was with Weinstein, which not much better. Not much better. He fucked just about every broad he put in a movie, which makes me wonder why some of them didn't come out to say anything. They still fear his power. Or maybe they're part of it. Maybe they grew him too. I don't know. Who can you trust? Hollywood. MrDeadman, you're talking about Hollywood, though. What about Little Nas isn't part of Hollywood? And the music videos started coming, which killed the radio star. That's when music and Hollywood started to mingle, started to really cross over. Yes, they're separate industries, but they are very, they interact. They cross over. Besides, there's rappers. So I've said, I think, I was trying to look for the video, could not find it. have talked about how you have to give your asshole to Satan, and it's true. You have satanic imagery going into in rap, which is weird. Why? What's going on with that? It's, mainstream stuff too, popular stuff. And why would they do that? Power, money, and control. It takes a lot of money to make these hits. Not to produce these hits, because these songs that you hear on the radio, they sound like trash. They sound like shit. You could have made it in like one of those I can't think of the music app on the MacBooks right now. But GarageBand. You could have made it in GarageBand. And that's true. There's been YouTubers that did that have shown that you could make this mainstream stuff yourself. That part, they don't need a lot of money for. They need a lot of money for advertising and to spread the message out. Okay. Well, you need a lot of money. Interesting about that. You need a strong message to put out there. I don't know. Seems like you might have to make a deal with certain people. I don't know. It seems really suspect to me.
Comes from that real place.
Okay. Some of the rituals are indeed filmed and given to high-ranked members to watch. And the tapes will now reveal Angelina showed her friends one of the videos, which is against the rules. Okay, so now, yeah, I don't know. I only saw that film Angelina brought over that night.
I don't know. I only saw that film she brought over that night. People or like darker, like that kind of, but it's a great thing to be able to like see everybody's just sexuality.
It's a great thing to be like see everybody's sexuality, but it's so weird when you just.
But it's so weird when you just. I had like the most amazing compromising pictures.
See, this is how the sort of satanic shit is easy to push because it's tied in with sex. Well, look, sex is natural. Sex is fine. I'm talking about the emphasis on sexuality in a way that's kind of twisted, weird. Once again, coming from this guy, right? Coming from me with this behind me. I understand that. I get that. But these sort of orgies that they do with the pain and the bleeding and the knife and stuff like that. If you look into the shit that they do, it's fucking crazy. The other friend off camera now chimes in and gives detail on what he saw in the video. The following contents may upset viewers. All right, here we go.
A nipple clamp, 3 whole
A nipple clamp. 3 whole revolutions. Ah.
revolution. 1, 2, 3. Ouch!
Like the twisting of a nipple or something?
Yeah, 3 full times.
I only saw that one she brought over that night though.
And then dripping candle wax on.
Okay. I think this is part where she talks about the animal sacrifice. Animal sacrifices are not rare during these rituals too, as the Illuminati is known as the Brotherhood of the Snake. It comes so no surprise Angelina admits to sacrificing one.
My snake, I had to try to kill it. Corporate. Yeah,
Oh, that was loud. That was annoying. But like I said before, she had a snake, her pet snake. She had to kill her pet. She had to kill her pet to join this. Now, some people, this video is not new. And some people are like, oh, it's out of context. You know, what are they talking about? Well, let's look at it. In this video, Angelina Jolie's talking about how she had to kill her pet snake. Why does she have to kill her pet snake for these people in this video? Why? That makes no sense. How can you explain that? How does having to kill your pet snake make any sense? And then you combine it with sexual acts like nipple twisting. You're adding that there. Dripping candle wax on explicits, on dicks, and whatever you're doing. Okay? Okay, and these S&M shit, this pain, this torture. Like, you combine all that together. I'm not just saying, like, if you look at it as a one-off thing, these things, you might be like, oh, they're into some kinky shit. Look at it all together and really look at it and ask that question, what does it mean? What's going on here? Hey, you know why when these certain celebrities come out and talk about these satanic cults and these pedophile cults, these pedophile rings, why others come out and say, oh, it's nothing. Oh, it's just a conspiracy, whatever. It's to protect. It's to deflect. It's to gaslight. That's what it is. Why are they talking about this shit? How come they get shut down so easily, so quickly? It's a den of fucking snakes. And now, with the way things are going, it looks like, I don't know, maybe, let's see, I got some articles here. Okay, here. Let's read part of this article here. Let's see what this talks about. The anatomy of Satanism in Hollywood. I must admit, I did not see the article's title coming, but lately Hollywood has been burning and Satanists are running out from the flames with their arms and pants on fire. It appears that most of them are pedophiles. That is to be seen, right? I mean, it seems to be true there. And they are offended that anyone dares to critique them, which is also true. When I see this happening, I struggle for the will to run for the water bucket. Okay. And it's like Satanists wear tennis shoes, do yoga, and have children. They hold jobs. They can get fired. They adopt children and animals. They have ethics, follow a code, and will pick up garbage instead of complaining about it. They're normal people, sort of. They have ethics. That's an interesting thing. They do have a code that they follow. Okay. Let's see. A Satanist call on will through ritual. The Satanic Circle is a living theater for casting. The director builds a scene with props and acts out a fantasy. The fantasy is the will window shopping. The successful ritual is determined by the live performance of the director. Once the curtain rises, the show must go on. A Satanist takes his ritual very seriously, and they say their life depends on it. The Satanic ritual produces results. If it did not, there would be no Hollywood. How do you feel about that? Bunch of bullshit? Maybe. As above, so below is a principle of music. Plucking a string produces a tone. Having the string will give you its next octave. And then 2 octaves are played together. A 3rd octave is created through resonance. This is the harmonic principle and is a fundamental of nature. A satanic ritual is the playing of 2 notes or tones to produce a third sympathetically. Sympathetically. Okay, that's weird. The first tone is played in the will or mind of the magician. The second tone is played out in the ritual circle. The third tone is manifested through resonance. And as above, so below, the perfection of the mind and stage determines the quality of the third tone. Now, that part is like, okay, guy, you're describing this in that way. All right, I'll be fair. Kind of losing me on that one. Kind of losing me. Let me see. Hollywood is an industry built on resonance. Hollywood is not just movies. Hollywood is the indie lens. You know, this is interesting. Let's set this aside. I read Brad Pitt's shit. Because what he says, he's in Hollywood. He's a product of Hollywood. And these are some quotes from Brad Pitt on when he was talking about the pedophile rings and shit like that. You think Hollywood is about making movies? That's just a byproduct. It's about money, and more importantly, power and control. The people who run Hollywood also run America and most of the world, and they don't care about movies. You've heard of the Illuminati, right? The secret societies, the politicians, the bankers, and the media. They're the ones running these pedophile rings, and they're the ones that run the world, and it all goes back to Hollywood. Kids want to be in movies, or should I say parents want their kids to be in movies, and they'll do anything to get famous. When asked why Hollywood was targeted by these elite networks, he said, it's the parents. It's the American dream to be famous, and the parents will do anything to get them there. Have you ever met the mom of a child actor? They're nuts. It's easy pickings, and it's not just movies. It's TV, music, it's showbiz. Parents are basically selling their kids' souls for fame, and they are. They are. What was that R&B performer who got busted for pissing on some girls and having some underage girls? Nelly? That's him? I think that's him, right? You know, the girls that went to his house, the parents sent them there. And the parents would check on them every once in a while. The parents knew what was going on. They didn't get two fucks until something happened. And that's the truth of it. They might have flipped the script afterwards, but they didn't seem to care when it was happening. They didn't seem to mind sending their underage girls to some rapper's house. Why would you do that? That makes no fucking sense unless you're crazy in the brain. What does it have to do with Satanism? What does pedophilia have to do with Satanism? If you have to ask that, you're lost. You're confused. It has everything to do with Satanism. Think Satanists give a shit about your kids? No, they want your kids to be fucked. They want your babies to be slaughtered on the altar. And they want your kids' booty hole to be raped. That's what they want. Okay? And it's in music, it's in movies, it's in TV, it's in every fucking thing. That's showbiz. So when Little Nas, who spent a lot of time marketing to kids with Old Town Road, when Little Nas was doing that, he had something, right? Seemed okay. Seemed like he was good with kids. Hell, he even had the kids love him, and he had a Roblox concert for him. Okay. That was back in, December. And then he flips the script and does this satanic shit, gyrating on Satan's dick, release these shoes. His name is recognized by kids. You think that's not intentional? If you think that's not intentional, kind of not seeing it, man. Kind of crazy. You're not. The dots are right there. I'm drawing you the line. You're just not seeing it. I'm drawing you the fucking line. What do you guys have to say? This is a crazy topic. I wasn't expecting to talk about this. I was not expecting to talk about this. But here we are. Of course, it's not just Little Nas. You have all these other performers glorifying Satan, glorifying the Illuminati, make it seem like it's a joke, get the kids all involved. They're really about Satanism. Get the kids to accept Satan in their heart, get the kids to think religion is a joke. So that when you bring your kids to Easter Sunday, go look for eggs, they're like, fuck you, Mom. I don't know. Like, they don't give a shit. They don't give two shits. I will end this here. With everything I'm talking about, it might sound like I'm pro like some sort of banning or some crazy shit like that. I'm not for that. Like, parents need to take responsibility for what for their kids watch. Now, it doesn't help that the media makes it tough when they put out this stuff, right? Well, you have to be on their ass. Well, that's a poor way to phrase that. You have to be over your kids' shoulders like constantly if they're watching stuff on YouTube or watching it's definitely on YouTube. You got to know what they're watching. Okay? You can't just assume everything's going to be okay. Maybe you want to do your own thing. Watch TikTok videos. You could do that in their fucking room. Like, oh, I'm just in here. What? You could kind of, you could literally be in the room watching what they're watching and talk to them about it. You're like, oh, what's that? It's easy to do when they're little. When they're teenagers, but get out of my room. Okay. Well, then you install applications. What do you need to install to monitor that screen? Look at that. Very easy to do. The reason I say this, people will just, it would be so much easier. The government would ban it. Like, that ain't fucking ever happening. It ain't fucking ever happening. You're dreaming if you think that's going to happen. It's up to the parents. You got to take control. Because you can't trust the government to do it. And you wouldn't want them anyway. They ban something because it's satanic. They might start banning stuff because it's too violent and shit like that. It only goes down a slippery path. It does. Look what they did to comics and video games and all that. Anyway. I'll end this here. What do you think about all this? Was I too conspiratorial? Huh? Too crazy? Did I go too far? Or not far enough? Anyway, I'm going to wrap this stream up now. You guys take it easy. Have a good one. And stay safe.